everyone. Welcome to the Back to Live Free podcast. Today, I'm Katrina Lloyd. Today with me, I have Jody. I'm Martin, the founder of Live for Live, and we have a special guest today, Janay. We're so excited to meet you, Janay. Hi.
Hi. How are you, ladies?
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my gosh.
You're welcome.
So great to have people hear what's happening and know it is a real problem in our society. So I will say the Ride for Live, Run for Live is coming up on Sunday the 14th. So excited. Year 15 of Olivia being remembered, and also raising money to help victims of domestic violence. And I would love for you to talk about your story, Janay.
Of course.
Not because I'm happy, or by any means. It's like the event. It's a happy day, yet it's a sad day. Mm-hmm. And so, like you're in a good place, but people need to know the things that happen in the sign. So, I guess if you could get started, and we'll ask questions as we go. And
yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Thanks.
So for me, my story started a little before I got married. So I've known my soon-to-be ex-husband for over 12 years. We were good friends. We would hang out all the time. Just an overall great person is what I thought. No signs of any controlling behavior, abuse, nothing. Then fast forward to 2023, we started a relationship towards the end of August. Things definitely progressed fairly quickly. But in my eyes, I thought, okay, well, I've known this person for most of my life. Why are we going to continue to just put off the inevitable? We both want to be with each other. Things were great. Fast forward a little bit, towards the end of 2023, we planned a vacation to Florida to go see my father. And we went, and things were great. He met my dad. He met my stepmom. We were on vacation. I met his family, who also lives in Florida, so we split the vacation up with both of our families. It was great. Things were beautiful. We went back to my father's house, and my father and my stepmom took us out and to like a little like community like band, and there was little kiosks with like jewelry and rings and necklaces, and I'm like looking at the rings. I'm like, this guy's amazing. I would want to be with this person for the rest of my life. He treated me like a queen. And then I went back to my father, and he stayed at the shop looking at jewelry and other little knickknacks. He goes back to the area that we were sitting at, pulled my dad aside. They go for a walk. I'm like, oh, that's strange. I'm like, why is he talking to my dad by himself?
Buddies already.
Yeah. And so my dad comes back, then he pulls me to the side. We go for a walk, and he gets down on one knee and he proposes.
How sweet.
Wow.
And I was just shocked, because earlier in the day we were talking about like what we wanted in a marriage and like random things like that. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, there's no way that this guy's going to propose to me after talking about it earlier in that day. So he gets down on one knee, asks for my hand in marriage. I'm over the moon. I felt like a little girl. Like at the end of the night, I'm just like so happy. So obviously I said yes. And then I'm like, okay, and I'm such a planner. I have to plan everything out. So I immediately start looking at dresses and like venues and everything. And then we come up with a date. And our date was actually supposed to be August 27th of 2026.
Oh, wow.
So fast forward a little bit, he starts talking to me about how his grandfather is sick And that probably should have been my first sign. He's like, my grandfather is sick. I want him to be in the wedding. I want him to see me get married and basically see that he's made it. So I'm like, okay, I can understand that. I don't have any living grandparents left, so I understand, like, you want pictures with your grandparents. I'm like, okay, so he proposed July 13th of 2025. And we had gotten engaged July 13th, 2024, and we had gotten engaged February of 2024.
Oh my
so there
gosh.
wasn't...
That sounds familiar.
Yep.
Wow.
It happened very quickly, and my family's like, I think you guys should wait a year, like, plan everything out. And I'm like, no, like, he wants his family involved in the wedding. He wants pictures with them. I can understand, like I said, not having grandparents there. My grandmother was sick, so I understand wanting to do it quickly. So that's what we did. We ended up getting married July 13th of 2024 down in Cocoa, Florida. And it was beautiful. I planned absolutely everything. I DIY'd everything to try and save money.
Oh my gosh.
I had gotten my dress off of Amazon. Everything moved super quickly. And then the day of the wedding, things were a little rocky. It didn't, like, start off the way I wanted it to start off.
Boy.
There was a lot of mishaps happening. But nonetheless, we got married, and a month and a half after we got married is when everything switched.
So that's interesting. You said there were some mishaps happening
Yeah.
on the wedding day. Judy, before you got married, you felt sick.
I was sick for like 3 weeks at least.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting is that for me, I wanted to get married, and you know, he kept putting it off, and then you know, I broke it off, and then he came back begging, basically.
Yeah.
And once it was his decision to get married, it had to be quick. And I don't know what they want control of everything. So
I think that's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
That parallel.
So what was happening after a month and a half, like so quickly after the marriage?
So I went into this relationship. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and psychology. I was working as a substance abuse counselor and had left that job and went into teaching early education. And I was making decent money. And he was working as a pool service tech. So he wasn't making as much money as I was. So I think what changed is that it was the financial aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to look, in my eyes, in my opinion, that he wasn't making more money than I was as a female.
That made him feel like
Inferior.
Inferior.
right,
Yep.
and heaven forbid, right?
And I think he took that as a huge threat. So it turned out from me getting married and having a really decent paying job as a teacher to me losing that job completely.
Why did you lose it?
So he had made calls to my place of employment and just bashing me
Oh my gosh.
and
goodness.
demanding that I leave work and get home immediately. There was family emergencies. There was everything that you could have thought to get me out of work and for them to send me home. And it got to the point where it was happening weekly.
Oh, wow.
And I can't blame them.
Right.
Why would they want to have an employee that can't stay a full shift
Of course.
at work, especially when there's children involved? So he would even go as far as showing up to my jobs and causing a scene.
Oh my gosh.
So I lost that job. So then that turned into me now having to work 2 jobs, one at Dunkin' Donuts and one at Tropical Smoothie,
Oh, my goodness.
which are very minimum wage jobs. And mind you, I'm qualified for way more
Right.
And I'm not trying to make myself look or sound like I'm better than any.
But you had that
any of those-
experience.
Yeah, I
a
have the
college
experience.
degree,
I
and-
worked hard for my
Yes.
degrees.
Yeah.
I'm very educated.
Right.
I know what I want.
And very
that-
intelligent.
I am. Thank you very much. So I just, at the end of the day, I think that he felt very, what's the word I'm looking for?
He wanted control.
He wanted
of where you
control.
were.
Yeah.
And
And it got to the point, too, not to cut you off, but
No,
it got to the
that's okay.
point that I was only allowed to work 30 minutes away from my house.
wow.
He had gone as far as crashing my car on 495 in Tewksbury. Completely totaled it. Told me that he was going on the on-ramp going 25 to 30 miles per hour, and there's no way with the amount of damage that was to my vehicle that you were going 25, 30 miles per hour. The state officer that showed up at the scene said that there's absolutely no way. He's definitely at fault for this accident. He ended up crashing into a guardrail on the on-ramp of 495. And now that I look back at it, I don't think that the accident happened there
No, right.
at all. I
Yeah.
think the accident happened somewhere else. And he drove the car right there and said it was there, called 911, because he had sent me pictures of the vehicle, and you can see where he like skid dirt over on the ground. And the state officer had told me that where the car pieces landed isn't in a natural landing. There
Can
was
I ask? Can I ask you? Sorry. What point was that of crashing the car and totaling the car? I don't.
I feel in my gut
Mhm.
that I think it was a sense of control. I think
Yeah.
that he didn't want me to have the freedom of being able to leave whenever I wanted to leave and go where I wanted. So then I'm forced to have to ask him to use his car
Oh boy, yeah.
or take
Wow.
public transportation. And that's ultimately what it ended up being for the remainder of our marriage, is that I had to take buses everywhere, or I had to walk 45 minutes to and from work.
So this happened, did this all begin a month after you were married? Like in terms of
Yep.
calling your job when you were a teacher, just 1 month, like 30 days.
It only took 30 days
Wow.
for me to see that this is not the man that I once was in
Wow.
love with.
So
Yeah.
he just switched
They
because
say
signing
that
on that
happens.
paper was
Yep.
the control he needed to implement his plan. I'm going to control her.
Yep.
Let me show her who I really am now that I have her.
Now I have her. And
Yes.
it got to the point where, okay, now I've lost that teaching job. I no longer am a teacher. So I had to, like I said, work those 2 other jobs, and at those 2 jobs I make tips. So at the end of every shift, he would do a body search
Oh my
for tips.
God.
For my tips.
Wow.
My pockets. He would go as far as looking under my visor, underneath my the sole
my
of my
gosh.
shoes. Like, I had to really hide what little money I had, and he ended up finding it and got more mad that I was hiding the money
Yeah.
and not handing it over to him.
That makes
He took my credit cards, he took my debit cards, my driver's license. I went 6 months without having possession of my driver's license in my hand.
Wow.
I would have to sneak into his wallet and get my cards if I needed anything, and make sure that I didn't get caught taking
Yeah.
them
Oh
out,
my
because he would
goodness.
search for them. He would look in his wallet every day before he left work to make sure that my driver's license and everything was there.
Did you both work similar, like, work schedules? Did he have to drop you off to work? Did you have to ask, like, can you take me to work? This is my schedule. Like, how did that all work?
So we moved from Chelmsford to Haverhill, and once we moved to Haverhill, I got another job, and he would have to drive me because it was in
Yeah.
Lawrence. And it was to the point where he got sick of having to drive me, so he caused a scene to make me lose that job. So going back to the Dunkin' Donuts, it was within walking distance of the house. And so I would walk from 4 o'clock in the morning
Oh my gosh.
down really dark, no sidewalk roads, pitch black, walking to work, get out of work at 12 o'clock, come back home, and I would have to clean the house, do the laundry, start dinner, do everything so he didn't have to do anything when he got home. And then I would leave and work 5 to 11:30, sometimes 12 o'clock in the morning, come home, go to sleep for 3 hours, back up again at 4 o'clock in the morning to do it all over again.
So what was he doing at that point in terms of a job? He was still like a pool tech, or
So
he moved
he-
on to something else?
Yeah, and he was a pool tech. So being a pool tech, it's a seasonal job.
Right.
So once you go off season, you're now collecting unemployment. So, and keep in mind, he has 2 daughters that would come over every weekend, and he would be on unemployment doing absolutely nothing. And before any of this started, he made a promise that he would help me clean up the house and help me cook and, housely duties that need to be done every day. I was told that he would take care of because he's on unemployment. He doesn't have to do anything. He would go grocery shopping. I'm working 2 jobs. He knows how stressful that can be. And none of it got done. So it got to the point where I'm emotionally, I'm physically exhausted. I'm tired.
Of course.
And now I only have 3 hours to sleep. And I'm not getting those 3 hours because when I finally put my head down on the pillow, I fall asleep right away. But I got woken up. He would wake me up almost, and I did track it for one point. It was every 30 minutes. I was getting
my
woken
gosh.
up. Every 30 minutes, to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to sleep.
Oh
What's
my
the point?
gosh.
What's the point? So then when I wouldn't wake up, he would get mad. And I could hear him. He would get mad, and would start cussing at me, calling me all these names in the book, and it got to the point where because I wasn't waking up, now I'm getting elbowed in the face. And that happened consecutively 3 times while I'm sleeping. So the first time, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, he's like, "It was an accident." I'm like, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Like, me being naive and like thinking that, okay, it was an accident, like things happen. But then it happened again in the same manner. I'm sleeping, I'm in a deep sleep because I'm exhausted. I get an elbow to my nose.
So looking at this, it wasn't okay for you to have this teaching job, but
Correct.
it was okay for you to work 2 jobs, be gone all that time, but because they were close by, it was okay?
It was
makes
okay, but
no
then he
sense.
started acting
Jealous about that?
jealous about that, and then he came into the first Dunkin' Donuts I worked at, caused a huge scene because of something I posted in 2022.
Wow.
We weren't in a relationship in 2022.
Right.
So he walked to my job, demanded my phone, went, and I'm like, I'm not giving you my phone. Like,
Right.
what if there's an emergency
Yeah.
on my way home? Like,
Right.
I'm walking through not the safest area
At 4 a.m.
at 4 o'clock in the
Oh my
morning.
gosh.
He made a huge scene, and I'm like, you know what? I'm working. I can't afford to lose this job. Mind you, my rent's over $2,000 plus electric bill,
Right.
plus a parking fee. I have to make money.
Right.
So I'm like, take the phone. He took my phone, walked home, got and went through my entire phone,
Yeah.
came back, started screaming at me,
Oh my
threw my
gosh.
phone
Wow.
against the wall behind the counter,
Oh my gosh.
and told me not to come home.
Wow.
And that he was going to lock the doors and change the locks.
So what did you do?
So I went home. Like, silly me.
That's where you're going to go, right?
Yeah.
Because at this point, he's alienated me from my family. I have no contact with my mom. I have no contact with my dad. I have no contact with my sister, my nieces and nephews. I have nobody. my friends, nobody.
Because he was controlling
Right.
that as well.
Yes.
I bet.
And they
I'm
all
assuming.
lived in Massachusetts? Is your family?
So my mom and my siblings and my nieces and nephews live in Massachusetts. My dad lives in Florida.
Okay.
So it got to the point where he would make up this huge story, and I mean like paragraphs. He would send my father and my siblings like, "Oh, I don't need anything from you. You guys did me wrong." Like making up all these lies. And I found that message that was sent to my dad. And my dad, I think, knew something was off because I don't talk like that.
Wow.
And I don't even talk like that in a text message. And he sent the same thing to my sister, and my sister like, "Oh no, something's not right." My sister ended up calling and doing a well-being check on me. Haverhill police came, knocked on the door. My sister was downstairs in the lobby and like pleading with the police officer, like, "Please, like, help her. Like, this is not how my sister talks.
Right.
Something's going on." So they came up, my husband opened the door. And it was like asking the police officer, "What are you doing? Why are you here?" Like questioning him.
Yeah.
And the police officer's like, "We're doing a well-being check." The officer asked me if I was okay, and I didn't know I did this. So and he answered for me. So he's like, "Yeah, she's fine. Why wouldn't she be okay?" So apparently, per the police report, states that I looked at my husband when the police officer asked me if I was okay. I looked at my husband for like confirmation, and I looked back over at the officer.
Oh.
And said it's okay?
And I said it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Because people are afraid, right?
I knew if I had said something,
Exactly.
it would have been a lot worse.
Right.
Yeah.
For me.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Makes
prior to
total
that
sense.
well-being check, he didn't like my mom. For whatever reason, didn't like her, wanted me to have no relationship with her. So I would be going to work, and now at this point I'm working at Burlington Coat Factory. So it's like 3 jobs now I'm working.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm not home ever. So I'm sneaking. These are my moments where I'm like, I have to contact my mom. Like, I have to do something and start somewhere.
Right.
So I contacted my mom, and I had to change my mom's contact name and my phone to like a random name. And I contacted my mom. I'm like, "Mom, this is what's happening." I sent my mom pictures of bruises on my body.
Oh, wow.
I explained to her everything, the emotional abuse, how he would talk to me, how I'm not sleeping at night, how my face is getting injured. And she's like, "I don't know what I can do for you. I don't have a car right now. Like, I want to get you out of there, but let me see what I can do." I was like, and I'm pleading with her. I'm like, "Please don't call the police.
Oh, yeah.
Please
Yeah.
don't call the police, because I cannot leave right now. I have nowhere
Fear.
for me to go. I'm
Yeah.
afraid, like, if I leave right now, I'm going to be on the streets, sleeping on the streets." And I was so afraid of that I just put up with it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
put up with
That's
it and
what
put up with
happens.
it. So the last time he found out that I contacted my mom, I had downloaded a texting app, because at this point I don't have possession of my phone. He's sleeping with my phone under his pillow.
Oh my goodness.
I downloaded a texting app, and I'm like, he goes to back to work this day. I need to get a storage unit. I need to get a U-Haul truck. I need to get my things out of this house while he's at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can't stop me.
Yeah.
And it was the only way I knew that I could do it safely. Well, he caught on to that and ended up buying a security camera and installed it in the house.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So he installed the security camera, and he said it was to make sure that I wasn't sleeping when I came back in between jobs, and that I was doing my wifely duties as a wife, and that's to make sure that the house is clean and that he has food and dinner ready for him by the time he gets out of work.
Wow.
And I'm very old school in the sense of relationships. I do feel, for me personally, that I want to be that wife that does take care of my husband in certain aspects, not to the extent that
Right.
he's made it,
That he's controlling you.
that he's controlling me. So fast forward, I go to work, or I'm leaving for work the day. It was March 23rd of 2025, the day I left. I left and I started packing like
This past March?
This past March.
Before we jump there, I want to go back to where you were leaving the Dunkin' Donuts. He
Yep.
said he made a big scene through your
Yep.
phone. And he said, "I'm changing the locks."
Yeah.
And you went back home.
I did go back home.
So what happened at that point? Then I want to jump back to when you got out because I don't want us to forget about that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear that. What
So
happened there?
I go back home. He's accusing me of cheating on him. He's accusing me of sleeping with other people and that I'm in a relationship with somebody else. How dare I post? And it was like a meanful quote. It wasn't even about a relationship or anything. How dare I feel this way? You are not entitled to your feelings. You need to feel what you need to feel and let it go within 5 minutes. It's not a big deal. And I said, that's not how it works. I said, you need to understand men and women are two very different individuals chemically. We just are not the same people, and I'm sorry that you don't understand that, and that set him off. That set him off. That turned to me being a manipulator. I'm a liar. I'm trying to make him believe what isn't true, and I'm like, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. If something makes me feel a certain type of way, it makes me feel a certain type of way. I don't have control of what's going to make me feel upset or hurt or scared. He's like, and he responded with, you do have control over that, and you need to learn how to get better control over it. Because he's not going to put up with somebody who's emotionally unstable.
Wow.
So they're turning, it's typical for them to turn it all on you. They're seeing you as it's all your fault.
It's my
Yes.
fault.
They
Yeah.
don't see it at all. That
Narcissist.
Right.
And I did not know much about narcissism. Granted, I do have the degree in psychology,
but
but
still.
now it's me.
It's you.
And I'm not seeing it.
Right.
Anybody else, I can see it.
It's hard when you're in it.
But
'cause
I'm
you don't
in
see as
it,
much.
and I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, somebody can be really bad, and I'm always still going to try and find the good in you. And
Well, plus I think I just remember from my own self. You think, okay, they finally get it. It's going to get better. You keep thinking it will change.
It will change.
It's not
and
going to change.
it's not going to change, and it's going to get worse.
Exactly. My thoughts
And
are
it's-
exactly.
And it did. My experience started as emotional and verbal abuse. Then that turned into me running away from him in the house and locking myself in the closet, him breaking the
Wow.
closet door down, and I'm on the ground, sitting on the ground, and he's hovering over me with a closed fist.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember vividly, like, I'm like, if you're gonna hit me, just hit me. Just get it over with. And now I look back at that and I'm like, it's not that I'm foolish,
Right. And
But-
it's not that you're not smart.
but if this is how it's gonna go down, this is how it's gonna happen. So I ended up leaving the closet that night, and I'm like trying to walk away from him. He grabs me by the back of my arm, spins me around, shoves me down on the bed twice. I get up. I said, "Don't put your hands on me. Like, how dare you put your hands on me?"
Yeah.
I said, "I'm trying to remove myself from the situation, and you're antagonizing me." I
Right.
said, "Just give me time to be by myself and calm down."
Right.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't. And then that turned into me being in the kitchen, and he shoved me down to the ground. And now I'm on the ground, and now he has an open hand, acting like he was going to hit me. He never hit me that night, but then that turned into, okay, now the emotional abuse is happening, the verbal abuse, Now the physical's happening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it kept getting worse. The
Yeah.
physical abuse kept getting worse. It was always one step further and one step further.
Yeah.
And then the next day we got into an argument. And I come back home from work. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I just want to take a nap. I go to work at 6 o'clock. I just need an hour and a half max. I'll get up. I'll take a shower. I'll do what I need to do.
Not asking for a lot.
I'm
Right.
really not.
Basic needs.
Basic needs. If I need to make money and you're on unemployment, you're not bringing that much in, I need to make rent, at least.
Which is interesting. So he kind of destroyed your teaching career when you first started. And then you had to get 3 jobs. And then he's on unemployment. So you were basically making more than him anyway.
Anyways.
Even though he
Right.
was, so it's like you're back. It's like the cycle. So it was like, what was the point in the first place?
100% agree with that now. I didn't see it back then, but I
Yeah.
see it now. And now that I'm like looking back and I'm like, you were making unemployment. You were bringing a little over $600 home. Where is all that $600 going? Where is the money going? Because now at this point, his car doesn't work. Like it wasn't safe to drive. His tires were like about to fall off. So he doesn't have a car now either. So where is the money going? So I'm like, and not once did I'm like, think to myself, I'm like, oh, he can't be doing drugs. I mean, I knew that he smoked marijuana and that was a frequent purchase, but it doesn't cost $600.
Right.
And I was paying for groceries. So I still to this day don't know where that money went.
Yes, who knows?
I have no idea.
Doesn't
I
really-
have a sneaking suspicion of where it
Drugs.
went. Drugs.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because in October, I had found out that he was using cocaine, and I had to leave work and go to the hospital. And basically, the doctor, without getting too much into it, the doctor basically gave him an ultimatum. Either you tell her or I tell her.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And he broke down and put on this whole sob story and confessed that he was using drugs our entire relationship. He was using cocaine since he was 17.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
And I had no idea. I had no idea. But now I look back and I'm like, is this why you were so hyper and
Right.
bouncing around? Like, you're not sleeping at night. Like, is
Yeah.
this why you're spending so long in the bathroom? Is this why? But like, I also think back to him, like, why am I not seeing signs? Why, like,
Right.
when I left, I searched everything. 'Cause I'm gathering what I can gather, but I'm also looking, like, there's nothing.
So what happened from what was the time period between when the physical abuse began to the day you left? What did that look like?
So the emotional abuse itself started 30 days after.
Right.
And then the physical abuse, I'll never forget, it actually happened on my birthday. My 28th birthday.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
That's when I had to work that day, of course. That's when he was shoving me down to the ground. So we got married in July, 30 days after the abuse happened. That's August. September, nothing physical happened, but it was more of the emotional
Right.
abuse. The verbal abuse was so out of this world. I wouldn't even wish any of the things that were said to me on my
So sorry.
quote unquote worst
as they say.
enemy.
Right.
To the point where I had, like, I would be crying and he's seeing me crying and he's telling me to shut up. It's not a big deal. They're just words. Who cares? Move on. Let it go. To the point where, okay, now I don't feel safe in my own house, where I have to hide myself in the bathroom
When you're crying.
when I'm crying or in the shower. And that in itself was just a release of everything that I was going through. Like, the emotional abuse itself, the verbal abuse itself was so bad, it got me thinking some pretty dark negative things.
bet.
I I didn't want to proceed in my life anymore.
Ugh.
I didn't want to feel what I felt. I was on actually medication for anxiety and depression.
I bet.
Wow.
I'm diagnosed with bipolar now. Like, I was on medication for all of these things, and he dumped my medication, flushed them down the
Oh my
toilet.
goodness.
He flushed my medication down the toilet and told me that I need to cope and manage it without medication because medication is a facade and that it's not needed.
So it didn't matter whether it didn't matter where you worked. You know, it didn't matter where you worked, or you know, if you're on medication. I mean, you know, they want control over every single thing. Where you're working, where the money is. You know, how much sleep you're getting.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything.
For the money aspect, he had my paychecks like down to a T, down to the time my direct deposit was hitting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if I did not send that direct deposit at that time, there was a big issue. Like,
Now, can I ask? Oh gosh, what was I going to say? I forget already. Darn it.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
So it seems like emotional abuse is like the scars you can't see.
correct.
And then it becomes the physical abuse. So you went through all of this turmoil throughout your marriage.
Yep.
Walk us through the day that you left. Like, how did you leave? What did your morning look like? Walk us through that day.
So that day, so I'm going to back up a little bit because what really got me to leave was the last physical abuse.
Okay.
So the last physical abuse happened in February 6th of 2025. He elbowed me for the last time in my nose, but this time it was with more force. And it's crazy to think back to because he elbowed me with such force that my nose shifted up, and what didn't even wake me up was the hit. The hit didn't wake me up. It was the cracking of my
Oh my
nose.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
My nose cracked so loud. I could hear it in my head, like, still to this day I can hear it, but it cracked all the way up.
Oh my
So my
goodness.
whole bone, my nose bone, shifted up and sideways.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
And it was so bad that my eye bruised. I had a black eye, and
Oh my
mind you, I had to
gosh.
get up. I had to get up within an hour and a half to go to work. He told me to not worry about it, and I think I ended up passing out from the pain.
Oh my god.
Oh, you poor thing.
And because I don't remember falling asleep on my own. To fast forward a week later, I was going through my photos and my phone, and that night popped up. He took a picture of me passed out, and it's a picture of him. It's like he took a selfie, but he took a selfie of himself with me in the background passed up, and he's smiling.
So he's loving it. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's the most eerie photo. Like, I have goosebumps thinking about it. Like, it's the most eerie photo
Oh, you poor thing.
that you could ever lay your eyes on. Like, he was prideful. Like, he was happy that this was, like, look what I just did. And I think he put it on my phone knowing that I would find it and be like, are you serious?
He's torturing you.
Yeah. I found multiple other pictures, and I'm glad that I went through my camera roll because there was multiple pictures of me sleeping.
Wow.
Multiple.
Weird.
So now, March 23rd, 2025, the day I left, I don't know what clicked in my head. Something happened that morning. I know that we had argued the night prior for
Yeah.
4.5 hours. And to me, that night was so significant that something also clicked that night. I'm like, I'm going to record, but I have to sneak record it.
Good
So
thinking.
Smart.
I have a 20-minute long video of us arguing. And then I wake up that morning, something clicked. I'm like, I'm done. I am done.
Good.
I tried to pack a little backpack of whatever I could grab. I knew I had to work
Good
the next
idea.
day, so I'm
Yeah.
like, let me get my work clothes and a couple other changes of clothes. He went in the shower. I ran out to the dining room, grabbed his wallet off the kitchen table, took my license and all my cards, and put them in my wallet. Put my wallet, my chargers, my phone, and my backpack. Put my backpack on, and I think that was my first mistake. I think that was my first mistake because I don't normally bring a bag to work.
Oh.
And instead of me just leaving everything like I should have done, he snatched the backpack off of my back, causing me to fall to the ground. He threw my bag across the room, told me, I don't know what I think I'm doing. I'm not leaving him. I'm going to work, and I will be back at a certain time. He said, I'm going to be watching the cameras if you're not walking through that door at 12 o'clock. There's going to be issues. So I ended up leaving my bag. And now this time it's like 4:15. I'm waiting for the bus outside, and we're arguing. And I had to clock in at 6 o'clock, and we're going back and forth arguing about how I'm not leaving, how I'm a narcissist. I have narcissistic traits. I'm controlling. I'm abusing him. I said, however you want to look at it, but at the end of the day, I'm done putting up with your crap.
Good.
I am so done. I said, I do not deserve what you are putting me through. I do not deserve the disrespect. I don't deserve you taking my money. You're wiping my accounts clean. You crash my car. You give me no freedom. I'm not allowed to see my family. I'm not allowed to hang out with friends. And tried to say that, oh, you're allowed to hang out with friends, but I have to be there. No, that's not how that works.
No.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I tried hanging up with him multiple times. He would call me back, bombard my phone, to the point where I'm like, what do you want? I'm trying to clock into work. Now, mind you, if I'm physically at work, I have to prove now to him that I'm at work.
Right.
I have to show him that I'm clocked in. I have to show him that I'm clocking out.
So can I ask, so you were done.
I
You were
was done.
done, but he took your backpack. So where did you go? Did you go to work?
I went to work,
Yeah.
and I think, mind you, I have some color to my skin. I'm half black, half white, so I have color. And I was pale.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I was really, like, pale. Like, I looked sick. I weighed 108 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
I started the relationship at 150 pounds. I was 108 pounds. I was super skinny.
Wow.
So I go to work, and you could tell that I was upset. Like, you could
I
tell,
can
like, I
only
was
imagine.
crying. So I go to my manager, and I said, hi, like, I know I'm not usually ever on my phone when I'm at work, and I get that we have a no phone policy, but I have an emergency. And I was open and I was honest. I said, I'm trying to get out of a domestic marriage. I said, I've had enough. I'm trying to leave now. I need to have my phone on me. I'm trying to get in contact with my mom, so she knows what's going on. And I got in contact with my mom. I gave my mom my work address. I said, this is where I'm going to be from 6 o'clock to 12, maybe even 1 o'clock. I said, this is where I'm going to be. Mind you, my mom has her license, but she doesn't have a car. So my mom contacted her friend who's also been through domestic violence, and my mom went through domestic violence as well.
Wow.
So my mom was, and I'm my mom's only child. So my mom's like, I've had enough. I've absolutely had enough of you not being in my life, me not hearing from you. I've had it. My mom and her friend come to my work, and my mom didn't recognize me.
Oh my gosh.
My mom had,
Because you lost 50 pounds.
Yep.
Oh
And
my gosh.
my mom had no idea that was me.
Oh my gosh.
I saw my mom and I broke down.
Of course you
I
did. Oh my
broke
gosh.
down, and It was such a surreal moment. Mind you, I haven't seen my mom in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
At this
Because you weren't
point,
allowed to,
Wow.
basically.
I wasn't allowed to see my mom. So my manager goes to me and she's like, you can take the rest of the day off. You'll get paid for the full day. Take the day off.
Right.
Go get
Amazing.
what you
I
can
would
get.
hope so.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, right? Yeah,
And she's
obviously.
like, go get what you can get from your house
Yes.
and get out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my mom's friend drove us to my apartment. And I book it. I book it upstairs to my apartment. And now I look back and I'm like, it was so easy for me to be killed that day.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there's a
Absolutely.
different entrance to the apartment building. You can get into the apartment building through the garage. And if you take the elevator up to the floor that I was on, the elevator's directly across from my apartment.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I knew that the camera was rolling. So all I could say to myself is get in there, unplug that camera, get what you can get, and get out.
Yeah.
So I go in there, and he gets an alert on the camera that I'm
I was
home.
going to say, where was he?
Yeah.
He was at work, and
Okay.
he was only 2 towns over from Haverhill.
But he knew you were there.
But
Yeah.
he saw that I was home, so he starts blowing my phone up, calling me. And I'm not picking up. So he sends me a Facebook message and said, I just caught you. He's like, what are you doing home? Why are you home? I caught you. Plug the camera back in right now. Now I'm not answering him. He starts calling me on Facebook. Like, you know how you can call him, like video?
Yeah.
Starts calling me. I had 52 missed calls.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised.
And mind you, my mom and her friend were downstairs in the lobby waiting for me. And I'm like, if he sees her,
Oh, my God.
he's going to attack her.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, like, go super quick. Now, I had no idea. My mom's on the phone with the police.
Oh, thank goodness.
good.
My mom called the police, let them know about everything that's happening.
Thank goodness.
Because I didn't report anything. So that day that my sister did the well-being check, the officer handed me a non-abuse form to fill out. And so I took that form from him. I said, thank you. He chased me in the house. He shredded it. Punched me in the side of the head.
So the police officer just handed you a...
Hands me a form, said, call
Right?
us
I
if
mean,
you
I don't
have
get
any other issues.
Because he wrote in the report that you looked at your husband before you responded. That's a key
That's a key-
nonverbal
Yes.
cue.
Cue.
Yes.
Q. So that day, Haverhill police failed me.
That
In
day
my
what? I'm
eyes.
sorry? He what?
That day they did the well-being check.
Yes.
In my eyes, Haverhill police failed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could have been out a lot sooner than what I was.
Well, you know, looking back at things, I mean, this could be a movie. I don't think
Yeah.
people really realize what goes on. This is a true story.
Yes.
And I don't know, you know, really, it's just,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
It's riveting.
And the thing is like something I always regret is that I didn't get a restraining order, but I never really knew enough about it.
Yeah.
Why did you have to leave? He's the abuser.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
I'm
what
gonna-
I
yeah.
look back and think.
So I have that story. I have that aspect of my
Did you get a
story.
restraining order?
So the police showed up that day. Then my mom called and I was leaving. So the police showed up and I'm telling them everything. Like from the start
Good.
of everything. I let everything out. I said, this is what's happening. This is how he has been acting. I said, here is proof. I'm showing him messages on my phone. I'm showing him pictures. I'm telling him he's punched me multiple times in my sleep. Whatever I said was enough for them to bring charges on him.
Good.
So they filed 3 counts of assault and battery on a household member, animal cruelty, intimidation of a witness. Those were his charges.
Good.
So he got, you know, at this point now I've left. The police officer advised me to go to the courthouse, get an emergency restraining order.
Good.
So I did just that.
Good.
So while I'm at the courthouse, I'm getting bombarded. Now, at this point, I had blocked him. You can't contact me. You can't do any
Good.
of that.
Yeah.
I blocked him. I blocked all his family, everybody. Anybody that had connections with him except for one person. And I didn't think to block this person, but it was his boss. His boss was also really good friends with him.
Oh.
So he messaged me and he started calling me, hey, Billy's concerned. Hey, he's concerned he left work. Is everything okay? I didn't respond. Still to this day, it's an unopened message on my phone. I did not respond to him because I didn't know where Billy was at this point.
Right. Why would
Right.
you really? Makes
And
sense.
it's in my eyes, it's none of your business if I'm okay or not.
Right.
So you're saying your biggest regret was what?
Not blocking his boss.
Oh, because he was
he was
giving
trying to-
your husband information?
Correct.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Yep.
How would you think that though initially? Like, I
Be-
mean, don't blame yourself for that. I mean, you try to cover as many bases as you could. I
Yeah.
mean, that's difficult to remember.
At
everybody.
this point, I'm shaking in the victim witness advocate's office trying to fill out paperwork. I'm trying to write an affidavit and my mind's blank.
And
Yeah.
she doesn't panic.
And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
panicking when I was talking to the officer. I'm like, he's going to walk in here any second. Like,
Oh my
it's-
gosh.
Wow. It's a nightmare.
like it was
Such fear.
fear that the police don't scare him. So he would have gone combative with the police. And the police officer was like, well, if that's the route he wants to take, it's not going
I
to end
almost
well.
wish he had, because then he could have got arrested for that as well.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you
exactly.
have such fear, you're not
Yeah.
thinking that way.
And I'm like, all I could just remember and repeating to myself in my head is like, I got to get out of here. I got to get to that courthouse. I have to leave. I have to leave. I have to leave. So fast forward, I go before the judge. The judge was absolutely astonished by the fact that I'm working two jobs. Two jobs that I'm working at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm working at Tropical Smoothie at this point. And he's like, you have a college degree and you're working here? He's like, I'm not trying to say that these jobs are
I was
bad,
going to say,
but
not
he's
the
like,
end of the world. You know what I mean?
he's
They're
like,
good
but I
places to
can
work, I'm
tell
sure.
by looking at you that you are a very intelligent, young African-American woman.
Yes.
He said, you stand tall. He said, the way that you speak and the way that you carry yourself, even after everything, says a lot about you. He said, I could tell. He's like, I actually noticed you sitting in the benches waiting for your case to be called. And he's like, you intrigued me because there was something about you that just speaks power.
Wow, really?
And he's like,
Interesting.
you are very smart. He's like, I wish that the people that came before me had that same ambition of work.
Wow.
The work
How
ethic.
do you know all that so quickly? You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
interesting.
And it's not the first time I've heard it.
Wow.
I've heard
it
that.
just goes to. That's why I always say it's happening to intelligent, successful,
Yep.
ambitious. I mean, like people tend to stereotype.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who the abusive person is, and why didn't they just get out? Why didn't you just leave?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's such an easy
Thing to say.
right. But they took all your money. He took
Right.
what you just said earlier was like $56,000 of your own money that
Yeah.
you
That I
somehow
worked
saved. I can't
very
imagine.
hard.
Good for you for doing it, but that's people have no idea
Yeah.
why you're stuck there. And it's not, well, you think it'll get better, because they're so sorry sometimes,
Yep.
they talk about
They
that.
make you believe that
You have-
they're actually going to
Yeah.
change.
Yes.
And there's no change. It just gets worse.
Exactly, my thoughts. I mean, I know from my own experience, and
Yeah.
you as well, that it doesn't. Get
It
better.
does not
No.
get better. And, I'm actually going through this with a family member right now. She's young, and it started as verbal
Yeah,
and
Similar.
emotional abuse. I said, this is the first sign. I said, you need to pay attention. I
Right.
said,
Yeah.
look at what I went through.
Yeah.
I said, I thought he was great too.
yeah,
I thought that he was going to give me the world like he said he was going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
then that turned into physical. And I'm like, you need to be careful. I do not want to see you go through the same thing that I went through.
So can we talk a little bit about, you had gotten my name from someone for some help.
Yes, the state representative.
Yes, Jim Marciero.
Yes.
I'm so grateful that he did that so that we were able to help you. Because I want people to know that the Live for Live Foundation, when we have this event or any other events or we need grant writing, very important, and because we need to help in various ways and bigger ways.
Correct.
And had you had somewhere to go, like some sort of housing that you could stay a couple of years for while you got yourself a new job that you were very well qualified for. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
You know, people just, I mean, this could be a movie. And they can't
Yes.
believe, why didn't you just leave?
Well, yeah.
Well, like I said, if you don't have the money,
It's not
or fear,
readily
I mean, so many
available.
things.
It's not something that can just be done overnight.
Right. And did you even know about getting a restraining order? Like, I didn't even really know about
I
that. Why
did.
should you have to be the one to leave?
Right. I
You're
did.
being abused.
So that's how, like, going back to the restraining order aspect of it is, that's how my restraining order started, is that the judge granted me the restraining order, but told me I can go back, gather a little bit more things, but he's going to be allowed to be back at that house
When?
that day.
Why?
That same
So-
day.
I don't get it.
So yes, so he got arrested on the charges that he got arrested on, but was only held for a 6-hour hold. They only
That's crazy.
they
makes no
only held
sense.
him for 6 hours, and I said, how can you hold him?
I
for
thought a
that?"
restraining order that you could do 30 days or something. I'm not totally familiar with.
So
that.
the 30 days essentially goes for that time period where they have to find him and serve him the paperwork, because
Oh.
for me it wasn't 30 days because of the significance of my case. So I only had to wait it was either 5 or 7 days. They
Well, maybe that's the initial restraining order, and then you have to
Yes,
go back
and then
to
you
the
go
court.
back
Am
to
I right?
court.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go back to the court, and then you go over your case again, and he has to be there. So
Alright.
he has to show up.
Okay.
And
If
they
he
go
doesn't
ba-
show up, is he going to be arrested?
if he
I'm
doesn't
wondering.
show up, no. So it doesn't really work that way where it should. And honestly, I kind of don't like restraining orders for the simple fact that there's these contingencies where they say about third parties and violations, but nothing gets done. So I just had to put a harassment order on my father-in-law because he started showing up at my
Oh
new
my
job.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just had to file a restraining order because I've been harassed over the phone from his work. My father-in-law's work calls me asking me questions about my husband where they can't do that. His father and him have such a tight relationship, and they
that
talk
makes
every
sense.
day, and they were tax questions. So you talk to your father. Your father is the manager at Jackson Hewitt, so your father can simply ask you questions.
Right.
You don't need me to answer anything. But they're so specific questions asking me where he is, have I heard from him? So he's breaking the restraining order by having a third party enter into something that they
interesting.
can't enter in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I have 3 police reports with Chelmsford Police on his father right now, currently.
Wow.
And every time I go in, they write in the report, this is not a violation of the restraining order. So if I were to go to court, they're not going to see it as a violation.
Oh,
My
weird.
husband currently is on ankle monitor bracelet for 6 months. He's been
Thank God.
has
Yeah.
to take a 40-week long course up for domestic violence out of pocket, and on top of that he has 18 months in jail that he'll be serving if he violates the restraining order or comes into my vicinity of where the map that got drawn out. If he breaks it, if he doesn't go to the class, he has
Right.
to serve 18 months in jail.
Good.
I just don't know if a class is going to do it. I'm in my
I
opinion.
asked because
It's
we
better
also
than nothing, I guess.
Yeah,
but we also did a 58A hearing. I don't know if you're familiar with what a 58A is.
but no.
A 58A in the state of Massachusetts is referred to as a dangerousness hearing. So the judge will evaluate your level of dangerousness in order to see if you can be released back into society or you have to
Oh.
go to prison.
Okay.
So, and this is where I think a lot of people don't speak out on their experiences. Is I went to the 58A hearing. I had to testify and explain everything that I went through. And I did just that.
Good.
And I stood my ground, and I was an emotional wreck on that stand, but my story needed to be told.
Absolutely.
And
good
it was
for you.
very powerful. But at the end of the day, he was found dangerous. They classified him as dangerous, but
Putting it
released.
mildly, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But
Yep, but they released him on an ankle bracelet monitor, and that's all he got.
That should be jail if he's dangerous. I mean, I don't know the
Yeah.
degrees of dangerous of the 58A and how that works, but like, is there
I
some sort of
think-
psychological evaluation done?
Well,
Like,
I had asked. So July 17th this year, we had gone to court and on more like explanation of like his charges and everything, and like he was made to stay away from me, like make it so he is perfectly clear on what he can and can't do. So and it's crazy to me because at this point now I had to have surgery for my nose.
oh my gosh.
So I had court July 17th. My surgery was July 23rd.
okay.
So I had to get reconstructive nose surgery for the injuries that he
Oh
caused
my
me.
God.
And I told that to the judge. I said, I am scheduled on the 23rd to go have reconstructive nose surgery for the injuries that he put on my body.
He should pay for that.
I said to the judge, I said, we have another court date coming up that he doesn't know about. And I got belittled by his lawyer and him, and I told them, I said, no, I'm filing for divorce. And I want him to pay for this surgery. And he lost it. He lost it. He's like, I'm not paying for
In
anything.
the court? Is this in the court that he
Yep.
lost it?
Yep.
Good. I'm glad he
And-
did.
They
could see
judge,
it.
they saw it. So the judge
Wow.
just said, finish up your divorce proceedings. When any alimony, if any, that you get back, whatever they don't cover, come back and you will get the rest of it. So she signed off on the court documents that I'm entitled to whatever the family and probate court doesn't cover. So in a way, did I quote unquote win, but it wasn't enough for me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come off as like greedy,
Of
but
course not.
at the
Oh my
end of the
gosh.
day, I feel like I am owed that.
Yes.
Of course you are.
I deserve that. And I'm now to this day, I'm in the process of, so I have like a couple cases against him. So
Good.
I had 2 criminal cases where he has a total of 9 charges altogether.
Good.
One of them being a felony,
Good.
which is the intimidation of a witness. It's a felony. He would have had 2 felonies because the other one was animal cruelty. And in the state of Massachusetts, animal cruelty is a felony charge. But there was no evidence because when we took my kitten to the vet, there was no injuries. So, not saying that my cat deserved that, but if there was some kind of proof, it would just make my case a little bit stronger. But at the end of the day, he is still a felon to this day.
Good.
Good.
Well,
And
because he is. I mean,
Yeah.
I say good, but I mean, that is what he is.
that's what he is. And I made it very clear when I was testifying to the judge in the 58A hearing. I said he needs to do time and answer to the things that he has done to me. And he had been physically violent with his last girlfriend, but she didn't report it. So there was no prior instances. And now everything that I reported stays on his record.
Good.
As it should.
As it should.
Yeah.
He's a criminal.
He is.
That
And
is
you
criminal.
I'm sorry, if you are doing something that you should not be doing, then you need to answer to that.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
100%.
I just want, the thing is that people need to know what goes on.
Yeah.
Because they do need to know that abusive person is breaking the law, to put it even, I mean, not only are they breaking the law, obviously they're breaking you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the victim, down.
Yeah.
So finally, well, you're waiting for the divorce to become final, and
Correct.
what is holding, or is it being held up, or is that
It is
just
being
normal?
held up at this
by
time.
whom?
Yep.
And why?
So my husband has to submit financial statements. He has to submit financial paperwork to my lawyer, and he has not done that. It took them 4 weeks to serve him the divorce papers because he wouldn't answer the door. And now, at this point, it's like, you are home. Well, he's staying at his uncle's house. So he's at his uncle's house. He's on curfew. He has to be
Right.
in the house by 7 p.m. And you can't leave. The only time he can leave the house is to go to work, and then he has to come right back. And he can't go anywhere on the weekends.
Good.
He's on house
Good.
arrest on the weekends.
Good.
Good.
You should be.
He should
Yeah.
be. 100% should be.
So, but isn't it the person of the court, now that's breaking the law as well, right? Because they're not answering the door, right?
So-
I would think.
In the state of Massachusetts is such a state where everything is a gray area.
Yeah.
And
When
the-
it comes to
when it comes to the law
domestic
and
violence.
justice and domestic violence. So, because we had 2 criminal cases, and now I'm trying to do a divorce, the criminal cases are now closed, and now the divorce is the first in line, and he doesn't have to answer the door. Even
Oh
if he's
my
being
gosh.
served, he doesn't have to answer the door. The
Okay.
constable has to make contact with him in person
to move forward
to
with
move
the
forward.
divorce?
So finally, fast forward, we get the paperwork served. He finally answers, collects the paperwork, whatever the case, however that looked, I'm not sure. But now he needs to file and submit his financial statement. So he needs his bank transactions. They need like what he's spending his money on. They
Oh,
need
wow.
HR payroll. They need to know how much he's making.
Wow.
And he's not submitting it. It's been 2 months now.
So will he, because he's, so what do you do about that when they don't,
They can subpoena him.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But at this point, currently, I'm having the worst time trying to get in touch with my lawyer. I've emailed my lawyer several times.
my
I've
goodness.
called. I've left voicemails. I've gone
get
over
that.
there. Nothing. I've called her manager yesterday. Nothing.
That is so
So we need to
bizarre.
find you an attorney
Yeah.
Yeah.
that will work with you and help you.
And it stinks because he's out of state. So
Where is he?
He's only in New Hampshire.
But he's
Okay.
allowed to do that too?
Yeah, they
Or is
they granted him to be able to work and live in New Hampshire.
But is any money that he makes being taken, or you know what I mean? How is there any
Nothing's-
way that this
No,
whole thing?
it
This
doesn't
is
make
what
s-
that's
Nothing's
what
being
abuse
given
is.
to me
Yeah.
yet.
You really
My
wonder how long that's going to go on.
and my lawyer also too said that you have such a fast divorce because you guys don't have kids.
right.
We don't have any kids, so it should be a faster process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
But
the abuser was not allowed,
if he works
wants
with us.
control.
Cooperating.
And he always told me if I ever left him, he wouldn't fight. He would
said
not.
he wouldn't fight?
He would not fight. If he wanted a divorce, he'll sign the paperwork.
Yeah, sure. Now, I think it's just
we are.
another way
Yeah.
they're, wanting
They want the
control,
control.
and they're going to drag that out. I have heard, stories about that, and how frustrating and how scary. And seriously, I'd love to hear from an attorney just to answer a few questions
Yeah.
about where do you go, what do you do. There's got to be an attorney out there
There
that would
has
give us a
to.
call.
I think so.
And go
Yeah.
on the Live website, or liveforlive.org, or go to our email, because I need to talk to someone to find out, what do you do?
And you know what I think is interesting as well? Have you heard of the victim compensation?
I have heard of it. Again,
Yeah.
not something I'm totally familiar with.
I found that based on research, right? At this point, I'm out of my marriage. We're separated. We're not living together. I'm doing all of the research I can do. I stumble upon victim compensation, and when I still had the criminal cases open, they actually made me go to Salem, Massachusetts, to Superior Court because of how significant the charges and everything that happened
Yeah.
was, that they thought it would need to be moved up to Superior Court. So I went down there, and the district attorney and the detective that was on my case pretty much laughed in my face.
Why?
What?
Because they said that they can't go after somebody for just being a jerk, and that
What?
I'm being
Oh my gosh.
I'm being a little bit too tit for tat.
No way.
That's insane.
And I
In
said,
this
you know
day
what?
and age,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm in absolute shock. And this is in New Hampshire, is it?
This is
that's happening?
Salem,
In
Mass.
Salem, Mass.
Yep.
Oh,
She
gosh.
said that
we've
I
gotta
would be
find a way
going
to
to
help you with
tit
that.
for tat, and that it's going to look like I'm trying to go after him. I said I am trying to go after him.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
owed
was
to
like,
you.
I didn't deserve anything that happened to me.
Not that it really matters, but is this a male judge or a female judge? I'm just curious. Not that it
So
really
this
matters,
was actually the district attorney. So this was the lawyer for the state.
but- Is that
She was a female.
a female?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter, but
I'm-
for this day and age, to not protect a victim, because
Yes.
that's what you are.
You're supposed to be on my side. So I think it was very interesting that day, is because the detective that was on my case was all for my case. She was going to go after him for everything that she could charge him for.
Yeah.
Good.
She told me that she was going to charge him. And I don't know what transpired. I don't know what happened, but the day that I went to Salem, Massachusetts, she was a completely different person. And now I think it's funny, not funny, but I don't know if you guys know about what happened in Haverhill a month or two ago, where Haverhill police were responsible for a man's death. They suffocated him by sitting on him. So that actually happened around the corner from my house
Oh my
where I
gosh.
was living. And I think it's interesting because when you watch the video, you can see the same detective that was on my
No.
case kneeling on him.
Wow.
No way.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And that infuriated me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not my story, but I feel so strongly about police brutality that I was so upset,
Well, you know-
but it shows you what kind of person that she truly was.
Yeah.
There's plenty of police
Yep.
that, I mean, my gosh, here in Westford that have, they look out for me. I mean, because of what happened. I
Yep.
mean, there's a lot of police. We don't want to
Yep.
say there's not tons of police officers that are good people that are protecting the public.
Correct.
But your experience at that, makes you can't help but wonder what's going on.
Like,
Right.
you can't. Our system, and I think this is one of the biggest reasons why I got into criminal justice, as I graduated high school in 2015. And at that time, you saw an uptake in police brutality, you saw riots, you saw everything. So it intrigued me, and I'm like, our system is broken. Like,
Yeah.
it's completely broken, and if I can make a change in the slightest
Right.
way, I will feel content. I will feel like I did something great to help somebody
Yes, I get that.
in the
Yeah.
future.
I
But
get
our
that.
system is so broken, and I got failed so miserably
Wow.
by the court system. And he gets a slap on the wrist and gets to walk away.
You know,
It's insane.
I'm all right. Well, I'm excited that you will want to be with, involved with the Live for Live Foundation
course.
because you're the kind of person, that we need.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As well as you, Katrina. Because, there's some serious stuff going on.
There is.
That, especially in the legal system,
Yeah.
that needs to be worked on.
There-
It's a must. It's a
And
must.
I would not be sitting here today without you, Jody. You helped me get through a lot of my complications. You made a dark tunnel
Aw.
look bright for me
Oh
and
my
gave
gosh,
me
that's
hope. Without your organization's support and understanding, I would not be where I am today and pursuing a job and getting from point A to point B.
Wow, thank you.
And I'm
hope
very
so.
grateful for you. You actually
Oh.
saved my life.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't say that lightly. Without your help, I can't promise that I would be here today.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. This is like, never ever did I know this, especially when I think about all you really asked for was help getting a car, because how are you going to get a job or go to the court or, so many things. So, oh my gosh, you'd think we gave you some money for a down payment for a car.
For a car. And that is something so
Amazing.
amazing, and so that's not a small thing. That is a
Oh my
huge thing.
gosh. Thank
And
you.
I couldn't be more grateful to you and your organization, and that is why I am here today, to promote and help Live for Live, because I know your story. I could tell
It
you
could have been
actually
you.
it could have been me.
Yeah.
And your story was always something that stuck out to me, because I can tell you what I was doing when your story happened.
What?
Is that I was actually down the road from you that
No,
night.
Really? Really?
That night. I swear
Oh my
on everything. I
gosh.
was at my best friend's house.
Oh my gosh.
I knew your daughter.
I don't know that I knew that.
I'm
sure I knew.
I don't like talking about stuff like that, like a personal
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We were more acquaintances. Like I knew of her. Beautiful young woman.
Thank you.
Beautiful, gorgeous woman.
Oh, thank you.
And the
Of course, I think
sweetest.
that.
She was very sweet.
Oh, that's so nice to know. Thank you.
So your story, like mine, touches home for both of us.
Right.
And
Right.
I can't allow myself, after everything that you've helped me with, and helped me, even just a quick text message, just checking in, meant so much to me.
Wow.
And got me through what felt was impossible, possible. So I cannot allow myself not to be there and not support and help Live for Live. It is my journey at this point in my life. I think that I have found something, like we were talking before. I'm very big into writing. I'm very creative. I want to help people get their story out and make them feel like they have a way out.
Voice.
Yeah.
and
A voice,
out,
and they
right.
can be heard and not judged and not pushed to the side, and they're not just a number.
Yeah.
They are human beings that deserve to be heard.
Absolutely.
And I understand to the fullest when people are saying, just leave, just get out.
Yes, exactly.
I want to make it my mission to help them get out. There
You
has
sound
to
like
be
me.
something that we can do as strong, confident women and as a society that we have to come up with something that gives these young individuals, teens,
Or older.
parents, or
Yeah.
older, anybody who's going through
Yes,
domestic
exactly.
violence,
Yes.
we have to get them to a safe spot.
Right. Well, I mean, there's shelters, but from what I hear,
There's no,
they're full.
they're
Right,
full,
that's the
and
problem.
unfortunately, hotels are now being shut down.
Really?
Yep, they're not being used for shelters
Oh,
anymore.
Well, I will tell you this, if anyone needs to know. I'm fortunate that someone that I know owns a hotel and will give us a reduced rate. So in other words, if someone needed somewhere to go, and whether it's to run out the door or need a place while they find a job because they weren't allowed to work. I don't know. There's various things that.
Right.
So I will pay. You can only pay
Right.
for so long, but I could pay while this person looks for a job. I worked this out with someone. There was a girl that was pregnant that needed a place to live while she, was able to get, I don't know, a job, get settled, whatever it was. So I want people to know, if you need a place, I will provide that
It's
to
amazing.
help
Amazing.
someone.
It's absolutely amazing.
It's not like I can't do it for,
Right.
a year.
Right.
But,
Right.
but that's my goal, is
Right.
to have a place, as we've talked about, Lives Independence House,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I hope, every year when we have this event, but we also need a grant writer because
Yeah.
obviously we need money to get a house where I could have some people stay
Yeah.
while they wait to get,
Yeah.
the court case done or go back to the job that they had where they were
or
making
like just
money.
in general, like a safe housing situation where they don't have to worry that their
Right.
abuser is going to find them.
Exactly.
And I
Right.
feel like, based off my experience, I know that I had that fear of, okay, this person breaking into my house.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, security cameras and locks can only go so
know.
far. So,
But
I
all
want-
of this does help. I need people to know that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the people we were with were at the extreme level that you wonder, because I think maybe had I got a restraining order, he would have come in and tried to kill us, and obviously he
Yep.
did it. But so I say, go for a restraining order. Do what, because very often it you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think in more cases,
Yeah.
it
Yep.
does help than
Yep.
hurt. But for us, like you say, my husband probably would have come back anyway,
I
because he
think,
didn't care. He was going to kill himself.
Yep. So I feel like if you do get out, run to that courthouse.
Yes.
Whether you make the police station first or the courthouse, run to one
Well,
of them.
You might be in the
And-
middle of the night, so you've got to somehow get to.
And you know
I've
what?
Heard
And
stories. I'm
it's-
sorry to
No.
interrupt, but I've heard. I think I may have mentioned this before. Have a bag ready, like
Yep.
in your bag. Had you known, had you been able to get it.
Right.
You throw your license in there. You
Yep.
put in whatever documentation, and among whatever other things you need.
Right.
If you could hide a bag and have it
Yep.
ready when you jump out the door, because you're going to be attacked or what have you.
Even
Yep,
if you can
and-
secure it at work or something.
Yeah.
If you have a locker.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
And-
your essentials in there. So, I'm
Yep.
going to work.
I mean,
and
a
then,
good friend,
Yeah.
or
And I can't stress that enough. I wish that I had listened to my family when they
Wow.
said
It's
that
easy
a
to
little
look
bit.
back.
But at the end of the day, I'm here to speak on my experience and why I couldn't. So get that bag
Wow.
ready. hide that bag wherever you can.
Call us.
Yep.
Yes.
Really, I mean it.
We're here to help.
All I can say is thank you for such kind words. Thank you for talking about a difficult situation that you're still in.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you.
I appreciate
and
you.
Call me anytime.
Of course.
Anytime, whether it's to say hello or if you need some help or whatever.
No problem.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
So
This is
that's
great.
why I need people to know what is really going on. You're obviously an intelligent person, obviously.
Thank you.
It's happening all over. And so that's why I need people to know Live for Live Foundation will help. But also want to say next Sunday is the Ride for Live, Run for Live,
Yay.
which was started, when the year anniversary approached of losing Olivia. And so it's a fun day. It really is a fun day. It's going for a good cause, obviously, a much needed. It's not a fun thing to talk about. I tried to get it on Channel 5, and they didn't respond. I'm very upset. 'Cause I'm like, I know it's not an easy subject to talk about. But anyway, it's a fun day. It probably doesn't sound like it's a fun day, but it really
It
is.
is.
It's a 1 mile walk, run, a 5K, a 10K, and a beautiful 23-mile bike ride. Kimball's Ice Cream, DJ, raffle. It's a really great day. Year 15, which is a happy time
Yep.
that we've been doing it this long, but also a difficult time.
It's a difficult
Because
time,
my
yeah.
daughter's not with us. But you know what? You've got to keep going, right?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
keep going, and my mission is helping people like you. And I'm so grateful that such kind words. You have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, Jody, you've helped me have hope again. So I can't think. There's no words to put into context of how grateful I am. So I need to help you. I need to give back, and I need to be able to have my story out there. It's time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
I don't feel any pressure of holding back and being reserved, where I can now
Yes.
openly speak about my experience.
And it's important to
And I
speak
want
about
to
it.
help. I want to
Wow.
help.
Live for Live
these-
would love to have you be part of our group. Both
I would
of you.
love to be a
Thank
part
you.
of your group.
Amazing women, strong, and I know you can do so much, and I'm really happy to talk about the legal system.
Yes.
Because that's obviously something we need to know more about.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So
I-
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
congratulations to you.
Thank
You
you.
did a Herculean effort in getting out, and you're a survivor.
I am.
And you just have a bright aura
Yes,
around
absolutely.
you.
Strong.
You hear with the sparkle a little
Yes,
bit happening.
I have to show what I wasn't allowed to show before, and at the end of the day, I am a grown woman, and
Yeah.
I will stand
you're
on being a
strong.
grown woman. I'm strong.
And
You are.
I
yes.
deserve everything that is coming into my life,
Oh,
and it's time to be happy and enjoy
oh,
life.
I'm so happy for you. That's
It's time.
great.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you, Westford for letting us talk about this important subject, letting us promote the Ride Run. Please go on live.org. Also, WestfordCAT was kind enough to put a really nice article in their paper, and I'm so grateful to be here, and thank you, WestfordCAT, and thank you.
Thank
and,
you.
And thank you, Katrina.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Great.